I'm Joanna Simpson here at Quant Minds International in Barcelona. Joining me now is Katia Babbar, co-founder of Immersive Finance and who has 20 years experience leading quant teams in large global banks. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for your invite, Joanna.
And can I just start by asking you, how are you finding the conference so far?
Amazing. Barcelona is such a beautiful city and we have an amazing lineup of speakers, some of whom I've known for a while, and new speakers, interesting topics, both from the innovation perspective to sort of more traditional types of topics.
And for those people who don't know, could you explain a little bit about what decentralized finance is?
Sure. Where to start? So I guess some of the famous names in quant finance who have looked at crypto in much more detail and for a long time are Alex Lipton and Carol Alexander. Myself, I entered into the space about 2 years ago and I found a new world. What did I find? People talk about blockchain as a technology for decentralization of the financial system. But how does it actually happen? So, okay, you can create new currencies and you need to have means then of exchanging those currencies. And decentralized exchanges are created as a way for you to exchange currencies, very much like centralized limit order books do in the traditional finance space. So when you have this decentralized type of applications and you want to exchange your Bitcoin for some stable coin, or you want to exchange your Ethereum for your stable coin, you need to have a price and you need to know how much liquidity, how much are you paying for that exchange. But there was a little caveat that it's very expensive to do so on a blockchain. Yeah? It basically costs gas, it costs money. So they had to create a mechanism that was very simple for that exchange to take place. And this is where automated market makers come in, or AMMs as we call them. So, where does mathematical finance fit into all of this? So my particular interest has been in how do we then map all this innovation that was taking place within the DeFi world, which is primarily driven by computer scientists and technologists who were kind of reinventing economics and financial instruments with the quantitative, rigorous approach and the sort of financial modeling that has taken place for the past 25 years in the fiat world, shall we say. That was primarily my interest. And what I'm going to speak in my talk here on AMMs is sort of comparing how these AMMs look in the face, how do they compare with centralized limit order book? What are the differences? And what they are primarily is a very deterministic, rigid way of providing liquidity. But people get compensated for it. So the question is, do they get compensated enough or not? And for that you need models and you need to understand what's going on in terms of the data.
And just tell me a little bit about your work in automated market makers in DeFi.
Yes, so what I do is that we look at the models within that, and in particular, Immersive Finance look at solutions to help users of these decentralized exchanges to mitigate risk. So then we also look at options within crypto, and we kind of backtest strategies for providing liquidity within these new entities.
And what opportunities are there for quants in crypto?
Oh, where do I start? So yesterday we had some incredible news in crypto, which is FTX was taken over by Coinbase, no, not Coinbase, actually Binance, apologize. And so Binance is the largest crypto by a long way, but FTX has been massively vocal and the main sort of player in the US who's talking directly to regulators into how to regulate the space of crypto. And quite frankly, it has been a complete shock to the industry. Why am I talking about them? Well, actually, how they came to fall is astonishing, but is a very basic risk management premise, which is they were using their tokens in order to guarantee the liquidity, their own tokens. So they issue equity and they say, well, look at this, I can guarantee you that I'm liquid because of this equity. But you don't do that. This is something that you definitely don't do in traditional finance, and they were doing in their books. So a little bit of collateral risk management and having people who have a lot of understanding of the space in the traditional finance world, looking into the space of crypto and saying, this is how we become more rigorous, this is how we work with the regulators into a space that can bring a lot of innovation. It's not all bad, but it needs to be tamed in terms of how to contain risk in some respect.
Katia Babbar, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.